everyone. Welcome to the Starshine and 49 podcast. Again, we are not at 49 Baltimore Street today, but we are at a place that does end in 9, so I'll consider that as a win. So today is part 2 of the Laugh-In episode, and here we have our hosts, or I should say masters of ceremonies, Mark and Alex. So I think we'll just get started. So for those that do not know the show, or you guys, just tell a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in this production.
Well, for me, being the old guy in the room, now I don't know what if you had other people of a certain age like I am. I mean, I'll be 53 later this month. So I was not around for the original run of Laugh-In being on TV, but it was definitely on in syndication when I was a kid. And my parents, it was just back in the day when you only had a few channels to watch, if that was on, that's just what you watched. And so Laugh-In was something that I kind of gravitated to as a kid. And it kind of, I think, polished my sense of how to be like snappy comebacks and like really quick jokes and things like that. So when I saw that the embassy was doing it, normally I'm somebody lately at least, I've been a person who's been in the directing or the production side of things, but I thought that'd be a fun one to do. And then Sawyer and Katie came along and twisted my arm, and I did it. No, it was my decision completely. So but that's where I come at from Laugh-In. It was just remembering it from my childhood and wanting to be a part of putting it on the stage.
Prior to auditioning or the announcement, I had not heard of this show, or I had to research everything. So when I saw we were doing it, I looked it up, and I just thought it was really funny. I liked how quick everything was. I thought the bits were really good, and I just knew it was going to be a good time. So I was like, this is going to be one that I have to try out for, just because I knew it was just going to be fun, and especially like with seeing how the cast was going to come together and everything. I just knew it was going to be a good one. So I had to get on it. But definitely did a lot of research, and now I know a lot more now, especially researching like on the character and everything beforehand.
So you did your homework.
Yeah, I did homework.
So speaking of characters, why don't you guys tell who you all play and how it's been playing that character in the show?
Well, I get to be Dan Rowan, who is sort of the two hosts of the Rowan and Martin. Rowan is more of the straight man. I do think that sort of plays to my strengths. I've been in these kind of comedies before, or just, play type of comedies. I've been more of the straight man. And Dan is sort of the long-suffering, trying to keep the show on track kind of guy. And but he does have they give him some lines occasionally where he does have the punchline. But Dan really is a host's host. He really is the glue, I guess, whenever, Dick or somebody else tries to get things off track. Dan's the one to kind of steer things back, which is just sort of what I am in real life anyway.
And I definitely feel that I match a lot with Dick. I mean, he's kind of all over the place a little bit, always getting things derailed, a little bit of an attention span that's all over the place. I definitely relate. Maybe not the sharpest tool in the shed all the time, but really fun to play. And,
Oh, that's nice. So you can either say before or after discovering Laugh-In, but what has this show like really mean to you as far as like just in general or like just playing the role?
I just like making people laugh. I've been that way forever. I mean, I wouldn't say I was the class clown in school, but because there were other people. See, me, class clown is like, the guy who makes bodily noises and throws a spitball or does a spitball at the teacher or something like that. I was more the I'm going to quietly just sort of insult you without you realizing it. That was the kind of class clown that I was. So anytime I can get on stage and do that, especially when I don't necessarily have to sing too much. I mean, I can sing, but it's not really what I consider my forte. I just, if for people, of my age and older, this is a show that they should be able to connect with or remember, or at least, even if you don't get all of the references, there's plenty in there that you're going to remember. Like, oh, I haven't thought about that in years, because there was several of those in the script where I was like, yeah, now I remember what that is. But I did have to do a little bit of homework, like Alex said. There were a couple of them though. I don't know that because I wasn't alive in the 60s when this came out. Yeah, it's just about making people laugh. I mean, it's right in the title of the show. And these quick jokes, you don't really have long bits. It's just, rapid fire. And that's a lot of fun because I love the comedic timing. I love figuring out what is going to work with the timing.
Absolutely. I think the longest bit that we have in this show is like maybe 2 pages.
Yeah,
If
it's not
that.
long at all.
Yeah.
I would have to agree mostly just making people laugh. This is I think of the shows I've done, this is the first show that I've done that is a straight play comedy. So that was kind of cool for me to really just hone in on just comedic time and solely just comedy and just making people laugh. I mean, I've always been like that too. Kind of the class clown, always wanting to make people laugh kind of thing. So just feeding off of the audience, hearing those big laughs is really what I think is going to make me enjoy this show whenever we do run it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited too. So it sounds like you guys relate a lot to your characters. So is there any challenging moments you have in the show playing the character? And if not, like what's your most fun about playing the character?
Sometimes, in my case, is just with remembering the lines and what's coming, because Dan is the guy that steers it. Sometimes I'm the one who has to bring the line. It's like, okay, this is a switch of what we're doing, and then it's usually Dick is responding to what I'm saying. So sometimes, like, what's the next part of this? Then we're going to this part. So I have to remember, like, that's the segue. That line right before that is the segue. As far as the character, I mean, Dan doesn't really play characters. There's like one spot where we have this real brief thing, the two of us, with the Western bit. But other than that, I can just be I'm trying to be a host. I'm not really just trying to just be myself on stage, because to be a host, to be an MC, you have to kind of give that, well, ladies and gentlemen, that sort of thing. I have some experience doing that. So I guess in that sense, it's just like keeping that energy, that flow to just make it so that I'm the one kind of steering the ship, at least when I'm out on stage. Whenever I'm not out on stage, I have no idea what y'all are doing.
What was the question?
Oh, it's like
that's Aurora's line.
Yeah.
What's the question?
I forget the question.
So, you've been talking about how you relate a lot to your character. Would you say, are there any challenging moments, or if not, like what's the most fun about playing?
I think not so much challenging, but like the timing matters a lot, especially with Dan and Dick. It's very quick, and there's times where I feel like it wants a quick, like, rapid fire, boom, boom, like him, me. I think there's also times where a little bit of a break is needed. So I think the more we run, especially off book, that's going to really come into play. Feeling those. Also, I mean, and as far as playing Dick, I wouldn't say it was challenging. One thing I have done would be like just kind of like watching the clips, getting a little bit of his mannerisms. I've noticed he's always hand in the pocket, always kind of like. He's always like fidgeting, kind of. He's always like not like he's just always like doing like a little rock kind of thing, and he's always smiling, almost always. So just things like that I'm trying to kind of bring into the character. I wouldn't say challenging, but I'm like slowly trying to bring to the table.
So would you say like you're deliberately basing your movements off of the original actor in the show, or you trying to your best to steer away and make it your own?
No, trying to base a little bit on him.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely say using that. Not so much trying to be him, like mimic, but taking some of those mannerisms and incorporating them a little bit into it to kind of pay homage to him and how he was in the real show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about all you can do when you don't necessarily physically resemble the person as much. So you just... You know that if you try too hard, the audience is going to be like, well, he's trying to do a Dick Martin, but he doesn't look like Dick Martin or Dan Rowan or whatever it is. But talking about the timing, and the nonverbals that you have to do. I feel like I'm doing a lot of nonverbals, like when you come up with one of your punchlines and I just kind of give you kind of a thing. That's a lot of Dan's job to do. So figuring out where it does have to be quick and where you need that little moment so that the audience can kind of breathe and have a moment to laugh and not be like, oh, wait, I missed what they say.
So we've been talking about how Laughing's comedy is different from like a traditional stage play comedy and how it's like rapid fire, quick pace. Because you guys are the hosts and you have to deal with all these different characters interacting with you, how do you keep a straight face from someone doing so ridiculous in front of you, like the skipper or the goat caller or any of those characters?
At the moment, I don't. I mean, that's a work in progress.
That's a work in
I
progress.
mean, by the show date, it'll be there. But I think the more we run it, the more it'll desensitize me from it.
That's fair. That's
Which
fair.
I'm really hoping.
Well, I mean, and I know whether I've worked with them before or not. I know everybody who's in this show, so I know how funny they are when we're not on stage and doing things. So I just kind of briefly for a moment see them, and it's like, no, I'm acting. I have to act.
no way.
I must, not do that. I think the Hungarian goat collar, that's one.
That's the worst one.
That one's hard.
I haven't done it.
There's one that I won't say what it is, but it happens to you, but I'm sort of the bystander of it right at the beginning of Act 2.
I know what you're talking
So
about.
that one's kind of fun too for me anyway. So I have been kind of like turning.
It's going to be difficult each night because each audience is going to react differently. And something's probably different going to happen each night too, just about the way this show's written. And I've said it to the cast here back the other day that this show is one of the very few shows, if not the only show that I've ever known that's like, it says in the script that you can purposely go off the wall with a lot of different jokes. So the fact that we have the opportunity to do something different each night is quite special.
And the opening song even has that line, if someone lays an egg, we do another shtick. So it's like, well, that didn't work. Hey, we're right on to the next thing. Don't worry about it.
Exactly. It says in the song. Oh my gosh. So we've talked about the importance of timing and the transitions and the punchlines, getting it right. So what would be harder, delivering that joke or waiting for the audience to finish laughing so you can deliver the next one? I know we haven't really had an audience yet, but I know the actors laughing and us fellow castmates reacting to y'all's bits.
I always figure if it makes us laugh, it's going to make somebody out there laugh. So that's what I always just kind of like pin my hopes on. Although I have been in this situation before where I have been presenting jokes that I have been writing, and you're just going, oh, I'm building up to this one punchline. I've been building up to this for 3 minutes, and I hope it hits, and it better hit. And if it doesn't hit, this is going to be really bad. It'll be like, da-da-da-da-da-da, I'm out of here. So I think, I guess to answer the question, there is always that slight worry of like, is this just funny to us? But then again, I think, there were going to be enough people who are going to get the references, or who are at least going to buy into us if we're physical enough with it, or if we're selling it, then we'll at least get a chuckle, I hope.
Yeah, I'd agree. Even if we do a joke, doesn't get too much, it's such a fast-paced show, we're going to move on to the next joke anyways.
Exactly.
That being said, every joke in this show is a winner.
Dude,
You're gonna laugh from all. You're gonna be
No, absolutely.
Everything's
gonna
funny.
lose weight from laughing and holding your sides.
There you
It's
go.
gonna be like having one of those shake weight things on your belly.
They say you burn calories by just breathing, so you're just benefiting yourself more by laughing more. So there's that too. So moving right along to some more personal questions. Who is the hardest person in the cast to keep a straight face around?
Jake. Yeah. Jake just has this like subtle way of just like, he really sells it. Brock does too, and everybody has their way of just like making it work. I don't know, just for me, when Jake does these poems sometimes, and he'll just throw out a name of the author because it says in the script, just put in a name of whatever author it is, or sometimes the voice he delivers it in, which I don't know if he's actually going to do it that way. Yeah, I mean, there have been a couple of times where luckily I'm not really on stage with Jake that much, so
Yeah.
I can just kind of hold it.
I would probably say consistently Jake, but most of the time he's doing the things, I'm off stage, so I can just laugh. I can smile or, crack up, but on stage it's definitely Brian.
Yeah, Brian has, for sure, a few. I would even give Aurora a few, like when she's doing her dumb blonde kind of things, and some of the ways that she has like a little bit of a mental break. We'll just call it that. The way she sells that mental break. But I am present for a couple of those. So yeah, that might be another moment where I have to kind of, I'm acting.
A good follow-up to that. Who's most likely to improvise something and completely derail the entire scene?
Brian might be one of those two.
Yeah.
Right?
Jake, He's good at derailing
for
things.
sure,
Yep.
for sure.
They have a couple of scenes where there's one where you talk about going off the rails. They have sort of a recurring bit that has like line. Brian sets it up and Jake has the punchline. And then by the third time, boy, the other night, they just added about 5 new lines to that.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
oh, my
they
gosh.
Well, I mean, they were funny.
They were, yeah.
It was, but I guess that's not really derailing because it was just the two of them. So, yeah, some of us just play it a little straighter. Jack just sometimes just has a way of just being Jack that will just make you kind of go, is he all gonna bring this back around? And then he does.
I'm very interested of the new line he has in the opener. That I want to see how he does it, because I had to read in for him the first time he ran it, and he'll finally get to do it for Tech Week, and I'm anxious to see how he does it. Oh, that'll be a good one to watch. Is there a particular costume, prop, or even stage piece that you guys are very anxious to see?
Well, Danny kind of is the butt of a physical joke, and we've been improvising what I don't want to say because then I give it away completely.
Yeah, I know what you're
but
talking about.
there's going to be something that happens to her that we've been kind of improvising, and we're not 100% sure yet. I don't think of what it's actually going to wind up being that happens to her, but hopefully it will not, injure anybody in the process. So that one, yeah, I want to see what we wind up with on that.
The Hungarian goat collar outfit.
Oh,
for Brian.
you missed it. He's like, Brian's been slowly migrating pieces.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
he's had some things come in already.
Oh,
It's not all the way there yet, though.
There's a scene where he's a producer of a show, and he went full on producer outfit and everything.
Got like a beret. And
Yeah, but he had something for his goat collar back on Thursday that it was just a fun thing to watch.
I can't wait.
So it's one of those quick things, but he has that quick thing nailed down so well that I feel like it's gonna be one of those laughs that are gonna last like 20 seconds.
Bringing that kind of thing up and just thinking about all the changes and things that are happening. I'm just so glad that most of the show I just get to be in a suit. Because these other folks are going to have to be like, there's a couple of times where, somebody like Jake is doing his one thing. He'll be in the one scene and then he's got to run back out and be the poet or vice versa.
When we did the read through, I was like, I'm so glad I'm in a suit.
I know.
Yes.
I know. You guys probably have the
happy.
easiest.
I do get to put on a heavy coat at one point.
Been
and a
there,
hat,
done that.
Yeah.
I'm no costume changes. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So we kind of talked about it, but favorite laughing character?
I think, you kind of need both of them, but it's Miss Orphy and the Dirty Old Man.
Oh, okay.
They are in this show. They're only in one spot, but that was always, and the way that you and Danny are kind of selling that. The Miss Orphy does come back in one other spot, but the two of them, I remember that. And being a little kid, just thinking like, this is so funny. It's like a Pepe Le Pew kind of thing. This guy won't take no for an answer. And then you come past #MeToo, and it's like, that guy really should be in jail because he's just not asking for consent. But it's still just so funny the way that it's done because it's a combination of you build up to the punchline, but there's this physical comedy element of it too. So I think, I would have to say those two, Miss Orphy and the Dirty Old Man.
I like the poet. The poetry readings are always great. And I like the preacher or the
the preacher's good.
Preacher.
Oh,
Jack's getting typecast.
Yes, he is.
Jack's getting typecast.
He does it too well.
Aurora's getting typecast. It's just that's how it is. Who breaks character first?
Of the two of us or the whole cast?
It could be anybody.
Ooh, let me look at the list here. Breaking character. I think Brock sometimes. Well, I think it's just because he's thinking of lines, maybe. I got to throw Jake's name in there again, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's not that he doesn't know his stuff, like breaking character because of that, but I think he's so funny and he likes the comedy aspect of it all. That's like, I just thought of something funny. I'm going to say it, or I'm going to do it, or whatever. So he might be the guy to do that.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
I'm also not great at keeping. I would throw myself under the bus. I'd break pretty easily.
So here's a fun question that I didn't ask the cast the other day. If your character had a dating profile, what would it say?
Oh my goodness.
No crazy chicks. Let's see. Yeah, Dan probably doesn't want a lot of drama. Dan's looking for a nice person who we can go out and have a good dinner. Maybe go see a show. I think Dan is a little bit more of a refined person, so he would probably look for the same kind of thing in a partner, but somebody who can also make him smile and laugh too. But I think the more of it is just don't give me too much of a headache. I already get enough of that at work.
I don't know exactly, but I feel like Dick would be probably the opposite.
Yeah.
The opposite
yes.
of that.
Yes.
Dick's looking for a good time.
Just a good time anywhere
time.
as much as we can.
You don't
get
even
it.
have to have a second date as long as we have a great first one.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Dick.
He's just, yeah.
Oh.
Dan is relationship material. Dick is let's have fun.
Let's
Right
have
Let's
fun.
have fun.
That's probably, that would be on his bio. Let's have fun.
Let's have fun. If you could invite one original Laugh-In performer to see his production, who would it be?
Let's see who's still alive. No.
I know Goldie Hawn is. That's
Joanne Worley's, I think, still alive. Ruth Buzzy just passed away recently. I think it probably would be Ruth Buzzy, just because when I was looking up things about who'd been on the show and how many seasons and all that. Aside from Dan and Dick and Gary Owen, the announcer, Ruth Buzzy was the only one that was there for every season, for every show.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess just in that sense, just so she would be able to see if we got anywhere near. And plus, I think she's also probably was a nice person and would be kind even if she didn't like what we did.
Probably the obvious answer, but either Dick Martin or Dan Rowan. It was their whole thing to see what they thought about it,
Right. I would love to have had Goldie Hawn come see this production.
That would be cool.
Not just that production, but if Aurora were here, she probably would have said also her to come see Butterflies Are Free too, because
yeah.
My fiance Katie loves anything that has Goldie Hawn in it. So it's kind of ironic that we're doing back to back of her productions that originally had Goldie Hawn in it. But yeah, no, I agree with all those answers, because I feel like we're doing the show justice as they would have probably done it if they were still doing it today. But yeah, wow, we've been really going at this rapid fire.
We're into
yeah,
it's coming up on Tech Week, so I'm just in the mood for it.
Yeah, the other the cast, they were like going off the rails back on Wednesday. So
I will add though about Goldie Hawn and Aurora's character. I mean, I did see some episodes of the show. I do feel like she's embodying the dumb blonde Goldie Hawn character so well, to where there's times I'm like, she's doing it so much justice.
Yeah, and Danny's doing a good Ruth Buzzy too, I think, when she's called upon to do that.
Yeah. Well, I have 4 questions left. So why don't you jump right into them? This one's I think gonna be a really easy one to answer. But anyway, what do you hope people walk away should feel after seeing the show?
Well, it depends on how old you are.
That's true.
If you are younger, that, like I said, even if you're not sure what all of the references were for, that at least the people who were on stage, and you see a good mix of ages there. We've got, I think 4 of us are kind of the older generation, Gen X bunch, and then the rest of you are the younger folk. But at least that you can laugh about that. And for people who are more my age or older, you get that nostalgia of, I remember sitting around whenever we only had, 5 channels on that were any good. And, if the president was on, then everything was all, that was the only thing you were watching was the president. Mm-hmm. But whenever this stuff was new, and you can kind of remember, like, I remember being little and I remember thinking, this is funny. I don't know why, but, or maybe, if you're a little bit older than me, like you're about 10 years older than me, you probably saw this kind of stuff when it came out. And I think that nostalgia thing for us older folks is really what I want them to feel walking out of there.
I think even for people who might not get all the references, I do think it is a feel good show. Like, even if you're not getting every joke, there's still like there are jokes that anybody can get. I think that are just straight up funny. So I think it's just one of those shows that people walk out just kind of feeling good. just a nice feel good light show. When people leave.
I do agree. I think that this is one of those few shows that there's no really plot to or anything like that. It's just a show to come out and have a good time. Really, it really is just a comedy hour.
It doesn't
What do you
make you
think
think.
about
Like
It doesn't make you think.
Art should make you think. It should make you feel. It doesn't always have to make you
Exactly.
think. This is one that definitely should make you feel good. But yeah, this is not a thinking show. And if you're like, I'm overwhelmed and heading back to school, or the summer's been crazy and I'm coming back off a vacation brain, I just need something to go out and just be like, I just need to have people make me laugh, just dance monkey dance.
Shut your brain off.
That'll
Come watch
be-
us.
This is the one.
If you saw Cabaret, complete
Yeah,
180.
the opposite.
Complete
Not at all
180.
like
I was
Cabaret.
thinking that the other day because I just saw Cabaret and like, this is very different
Very
from
different.
Cabaret.
This is what you call a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
This is the palate cleanser of the 2026 season.
Yeah.
So what's something about this production that you think audiences absolutely should not miss?
I mean, the jokes are just good. There's some good.
Good.
There's some really good bits in here. Really good talent.
Yeah.
Humor is universal. Like we talk about the reference thing, but I think that even if you don't know what that TV show was that they're referring, or that person, that politician, whatever, you recognize that something is funny about it.
Yeah.
So I think that you won't miss the humor aspect of it, even if you have to go, okay, who was Everett Dirksen? That kind of thing. That's your homework if you're watching this before the show is on. Everett Dirksen is.
I had to figure that.
I
that
probably
out.
should do it because I'm the one that delivers that line too.
It's once you know, it makes it a lot
I
funnier.
think it's the only line that I deliver in the show that I don't get.
Yeah, I
So
had to think
have
about. He headed up a committee of some sort, and that's why I was like, okay, he's a politician, but like, why is it
Yeah.
funny that it's Everett Dirksen?
I'll just jump straight to the last question, and it's the good one. It's the good old question. If you could describe this show in either one word or one sentence, what would it be?
Frenetic.
Frenetic.
That's a vocabulary word for you all,
I'm going,
which in a good way.
I'm gonna say goofy,
Yeah.
Oh, someone said that. I can't remember who. They
Er.
said goofy as well.
quirky.
Quirky? That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. It is of its time. I know that's more than one word, but yeah, it is. It is definitely. You feel like you're back in the '60s with it, even though some of the humor is universal. The references in a lot of cases are not.
Absolutely.
But that's no reason. It's not like, well, it's '60s. It doesn't matter to me. Well, did World War II matter to you? Did all these things from the past? Things from the past still have relevance today. And there are some things that if you dig into it a little bit more, you're like, oh, that stuff's still going on.
That's
There's
true.
a couple of references like in my news stories where I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing news of the future. Well, I kind of am.
It's very interesting that you're listing out these predictions, but these predictions are for like 1980.
Yeah,
And we're
88.
way past that now. Oh wow. Well, this has been fun, gentlemen. I enjoyed this part 2. So for anyone that hasn't seen the other part, we are now at Bishop Walsh now instead of the theater. It's at 700 Bishop Walsh Road. Dates are 14th, 15th, 21st, 22nd at 8 p.m. and then 16th and 23rd at 2 p.m. Guys, have any final words to say?
Say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Good night, Dick, and goodbye, everybody.